It's done it all for us. Is the mic working now as well?
Yeah, the mic's working. I'll open it now because
I need to sit back a bit.
last time it exploded all over me.
Well, we need some upbeat introduction music to fade in.
Well, I think we'll
That's
have
what
to.
it suggests.
I'll have to try and we'll add it in afterwards.
Shall we introduce our podcast? As presented to us by ChatGPT. Hi everyone, I'm Lawrence Williamson.
And I'm Rashima Hadio.
And welcome to the modern day midlife crisis. This is the show where we dig into what it really means to hit that middle stage of life in today's world. The highs, the lows, the pivots and the possibilities.
We're going to be talking about everything from career changes and relationships to health, identity and those late nights, what am I doing with life moments.
Because the midlife crisis isn't just about buying a sports car anymore. It's about rediscovering yourself in a world that's constantly changing.
So join us each week as we share real stories from our lives, honest conversations and perhaps a few laughs along the way.
This is the modern day midlife crisis. Let's figure it out together. Music fades out.
I think the trick is that we don't read from a script.
Yeah. Or maybe if we could record that without the video bit being on, and that's just the introduction then. Every time we do a thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what they always start with the same thing, don't they? And then it goes, welcome to episode 2.
We've got to do episode 1 first.
Well, yeah, in today's episode. But yeah, that'll do the trick, won't it?
It's recording, isn't it? Yeah. All that effort for nothing.
Well, maybe we can cut the bit where we've nicked it from ChatGPT, but why not?
No, it's all right.
Part of midlife, you know.
Yeah.
Using technology that's there that wasn't there before.
Do you use it much?
Not that much. I should probably use it more.
Can't really give people a massage though, can it?
It can't give people a massage. And yeah, probably best not to ask it what to do in a massage, because then people might think that I don't really know what I'm doing. Whilst I'm there giving them a massage, what bit should I massage next?
Hang on a minute, let me just chat GPT. What should I do next?
Yeah, it might not look the best, would it?
But do you think that, because I've used it before to do me a training plan,
Okay.
just as a comparison
Yeah.
to the stuff that you do, or just any coach, or the stuff like that I've used in training,
Okay.
and it's scarily easy to use.
Okay.
Like for people that sit there and do things on a computer, accountants as well.
Yeah.
I think ChatGPT and that sort of thing it's just mind blowing.
I mean, yeah, the technology's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit scary as well in terms of what the video AI can do now, particularly with us both having children.
Somebody sent me one of, I'll show you, I can't show people there because it's of my child. But I can show you, even my father-in-law's it, you know, it's something called, have you ever heard of Grok?
No.
On Twitter. So Grok is the Twitter AI or X. Down with the kids.
Down with the kids.
And what he did was he put a picture of me and Henry on and told it what it wanted us to be doing, and it came back with this. See, that never happened.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like you don't know what to believe. Obviously, so they've got that. Lucy showed me a video from the hurricanes in Jamaica.
Okay.
And it showed sharks in a swimming pool. And I just said, well, is it real though?
Yeah. Is it real?
I don't know. I still don't know. But that's the thing, I just don't know what to believe now. Maybe the sharks did get washed into the swimming pool because the sea's been so big, but
possibly.
Maybe they didn't. It wasn't on BBC, but we don't know whether it's what we see on the BBC.
I was going to say, doesn't mean that that's true.
So, there you go.
But yeah, it's a scary thing. But I think it's quite useful. I quite like it.
Yeah, I've used it for a few emails and things in the past, and writing. I did use it for a plan actually for a client who was a rower, specifically rowing outside of my remit. So I just asked it, using the kit that I knew he had, a bit of input from me in terms of what I thought the exercises should be, and then just got it to program it for like a 6-week program. It seemed to work pretty well. Okay.
So part of this, obviously, this conversation about the midlife crisis, I think that if you don't fully embrace it, that it will get left behind.
Left behind. Yeah, definitely. So have you seen on my phone all the time, I get bombarded with an advert for
Always Ultra?
No. No, I'm quite consonant at the moment.
Clearly YouTube thinks I'm not.
And it's like an AI thing. I can't remember, it's like this little character comes on, a little face, and he's like, if you want to be the cleverest person in the room, do this 20 minutes a day. And it lists all the different AI programs that there are, and it's basically you listen to it for 20 minutes a day and it tells you some information about how to use these different AI programs.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I see all the time on my phone, and I'm like, I should do that. And I just haven't done it yet.
It's like we said though before, you could spend, there's so many of these adverts that we see, and you just don't know what one is going to work.
No. And that's it.
And you can't spend, you've only got so much time in the day.
Yeah, and I had a client in yesterday actually, in relativeness to that topic that we spoke about, in that we're going to try some of these things potentially through the podcast. And he started as a day trader about a year and a half ago.
Professionally, or off the back of...
Sort of as a student, sort of teaching himself.
Okay.
Sort of using information that's there, but not a copy and paste type thing that you see on the internet. That it's just copy and paste my trade and you can make £10,000 a month.
Yeah. Is he a millionaire yet?
He's not a millionaire yet.
Okay.
And I kind of said, this is what we're doing. One of the things that we're potentially going to look at is, these options that people tell us how we're going to get rich quick, and dive into those a little bit. And I said to him, what do you think of it, in terms of the copy and paste things? And he said, it's a load of rubbish. Basically, they're just good marketers. And what they do is they market really well, which then makes people buy their product, which gives them more money to market even better. And they're actually not selling a service, they're just marketing themselves to generate income, which is quite clever. Obviously clever, but it's not a service that they're providing to help people actually make money through being day traders or through marketing. But we can investigate that further ourselves, can't we?
Yes.
But yeah, as it seems to be the case, if something looks too good to be true, then it probably is.
Yeah. A bit like my 500 watts on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's a bit too good to be true. Faded after. Oh.
Most people can't hit 500 watts for more than 10 or 15 seconds, so...
yeah, neither can I.
Should we introduce ourselves a little bit? Do you
Yes.
want to do like a bit of a background?
I think that's a good
who we
idea.
are and where we come from, what's brought us here together.
Yeah, do you want to go first? Okay, so I'm not going to say I'm an accountant, because I'm not. I'm a man.
You're escaping from that.
I'm an escaping.
That label of an accountant.
Yeah, and I think that it was your idea really. I think and your observation that perhaps highlighted. I never even thought about the midlife crisis or anything like that. But yeah, so I was an accountant. I have been an accountant for the vast majority of my life. Actually, probably more than half of my life now, thinking about it. And quite frankly, I'm bored.
Being an accountant? Did no one tell you that when you started? It's not a particularly interesting job.
No. Well, I think, no, it was, and it's been very rewarding, and I was good at it, and I found it very interesting. I enjoyed working with people. But then, over time, when I started to work for myself, and had a bit more time to think about life, I suppose, in general, after my dad passed away, I kind of just realised that perhaps it's not really what I wanted to be doing anymore. Yeah. And so I've been on a bit of a journey since Dad passed away. I always wanted to work for myself. So when he passed away, it will be 7 years this year, I set up on my own, and initially it was to be an accountant. But what has ended up happening is I'm just kind of doing the same thing that I was doing when I was employed. Yeah. Just for myself.
Do you think that your dad passing away triggered you because it made you realise your own mortality, time scales, things like that?
Yeah,
or was it more that
definitely.
You felt like seeing how he'd lived his life, you wanted to do something different? What was the sort of thought process behind that?
It was all of those things. I never wanted to be an accountant from day one. Cause he was an accountant. Right. I tried my very, very hardest not to be an accountant. But at the end of the day, I was good at it, so I needed to pay some bills. Yeah. So that's kind of the route that I ended up going down. But yes, he was only 68 when he passed away, so no age at all these days. So if I was to go at the same time, I've got 23 years left to go.
Shit, we better hurry up. Got some living to do.
And I was very fortunate. He worked really hard, And I never really wanted to work that hard because I want to enjoy my kids. I'm not saying that my dad was never around, but he was a bit of a workaholic. And he's kind of laid the foundation for all of us in the family so that we perhaps don't have to work as hard, or if we're clever with it, we definitely don't have to work as hard. So what I ended up doing, so I set this business up. I've been self-employed for 7 years as an accountant. I've been setting things up in the background, investing in property with some of my inheritance money, but I've done it for a while before that anyway, with a view that if I've got enough money coming in, we don't have to earn as much money, so then we can explore other things, because accounting's fine, it's very lucrative, but I don't want to do it for the next 20 years and then get to 68 and pop my clogs. Like I said, I'm lucky that I can do that.
Yeah.
But it took working for myself and then making sure that had the time to think about what I want to do, to actually realise that perhaps there's other things out there that I can do that are perhaps a little bit more fulfilling. It doesn't have to be as lucrative as accounting because I've done a lot of the hard work so far.
Yeah.
I still need to work, just don't want to work as much.
Yeah. And I suppose that could lead us on to your foray into baking sourdough.
Yeah, quite. Well, yeah, so I tried a few
It's an avenue to explore.
Bizarrely fallen into baking sourdough bread. It started off as a little thing in the village. It kind of is still a little thing in the village that I live. But it would be nice for it to become bigger. It's definitely not as lucrative. I've got to sell a lot of loaves of bread to buy a house or a new bike. But it's definitely something I enjoy. And I don't see it as work. And even though it kind of is still a hobby, it just never feels like work because it's just stuff I do around everything else that I'm doing day to day.
Cool.
And obviously I ride my bike a lot.
Yeah. But we can't really call that a midlife crisis because you've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, no. If I could make money out of it, I would. It kind of makes sense really because I spend so much time on it. Yeah.
And I suppose that leads us quite nicely onto how I met Rishi and how we've sort of come together for this collab is that Rishi actually came to me for sports massage initially, and then I mentioned to him that I was a coach through triathlon, and conversations happened, and eventually after a little while Rishi decided to come on board with the coaching, and has been coached now for a couple of years?
Yeah, a couple of years.
In a few specific events over that time, which have changed in terms of various goals and things, but it's been just an opportunity for us to get to know each other, and I think the reason this podcast has come together is that through those conversations, both of us are a similar age, and I'm 44, Rishi's 45.
45, a veteran now.
It's quite nice to be the youngest person in the room. The conversations that we'd had, so my massage room, as much as it's a hands-on treatment, I do find that quite a lot of people offload stuff to me. It's a bit like therapy in there as well. And yeah, we've sort of struck up this relationship where we're both in a place where we both enjoy, or I certainly enjoy my work. Rishi, technical error. That's one camera angle gone. These are the things that we're going to expect to happen in our first few episodes where we don't really know what we're doing.
Might turn on.
I hope so. If it's not, we'll just have the recording of the volume through. Does it pick up through the computer?
Not if it's not. I'm pretty sure it's on.
I'm not sure I can remember everything we said to repeat it, but
yeah, look, it's on.
It's on. Good. So anyway, back to my job and or career and areas that I work in is something that I really do enjoy, but I enjoy it because I can pick the hours that I do, and I've made it really make work my job around my life rather than the other way around. And that was a process that happened initially back in 2010 is the start of me becoming a self-employed person, to sort of allow myself to do those things. And it's taken quite a long time and evolution to build the business to where it is now. But it's got to a place where I'm able to investigate and experiment with other things as well. And this, to be fair, podcasting is something that we'd spoken about probably over the years. Initially, we've talked about how can we become Instagram, influencers and things like that. which has failed so far. I think Rishi has got more followers than me. So but looking at things that we can do to potentially generate an income, and that's not the end goal. Particularly with this podcast, we're much more interested in just thrashing out various topics and potentially, helping people that are out there and just understand.
It's a bit of fun as well, isn't it?
What people go through in middle life.
It's just worth perhaps mentioning, but in your evolution as a sports therapist, when I first came to see you, you had a couple of different rooms, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you were very much on the
build.
Like,
and I suppose similar to you in terms of background, my dad was a workaholic, so he worked to retire basically. So that was his goal. I'm going to do as much, get as high in the organisation that I work for as quickly as I can, so that I get to a point where I'm going to get a good pension. I've managed to save enough money that I can retire and start working. And again, was a great provider for us. We were lucky enough to go on lots of holidays and things like that, which has fed into hobbies that I've still got now but can't do as much because I can't necessarily afford to do them. Yeah, it was sort of seeing the way that he lived his life kind of shaped the way that I wanted to live mine in that respect, in that I didn't want to be, leaving the house at 7 o'clock in the morning to get on a train to to go into London, and then be in London all day and then come back in the evening once we were getting ready for bed, basically. Yeah. And that's where I was before I decided to leave. So I was working in recruitment. I was working for Michael Page in Birmingham. We'd gone through the economic crisis of 2008. 2009 and onwards, while I was there until mid-2010, were very difficult times to be working in recruitment. So the pressure was high. Recruitment is essentially a sales job, so you're targeted every month. And if you're not hitting those targets, there's a lot of pressure. And Lucy, my wife, became pregnant with our first child, which was late 2009. That, for me, was kind of the catalyst for me to go, look, I can't carry on doing this when I've got a child as well. I don't want to be the dad who isn't present. Yeah. I want to be able to see my kids grow up. I want to be more involved with what they do. And so that was what kind of led me to leave recruitment and set up on my own as initially a PT, and then that's evolved into triathlon coach, sports therapist, etc. So that's kind of my background that's got us to where we are now.
Cool. Can you see yourself doing something else, or is there a desire to do something else that isn't sports therapy, or what? Obviously we've got this going on.
Yeah.
But it's a thing on the side.
Yeah.
Sports therapy is still your main thing. You've got no desire to...
Well, I talk about winning the lottery a lot. That would be great.
Another side project of yours.
So far, the lotto continue to pick out the wrong numbers. It's a conversation that I might be able to have with them at some point. No, I mean, like I said to you, I really enjoy my work. But for me, there is, as I've got to this stage in life, I am aware that I don't have a pension as we speak.
Yeah.
And so in terms of making something more secure for the future...
The lottery's your pension?
Well, yeah. That's... Yeah. In pencil. But that keeps getting rubbed out every weekend. Start again, try a different one. So I am aware that financially my future isn't secure at the moment in terms of how I'd like to... I pay into, obviously, my national insurance. I pay that through taxes, etc. So hopefully, if it's still around, I'll get a state pension when I retire at 89 or whatever it'll be by the time we retire. But I would like to, and this is something that I'm exploring, is to find a way of securing my future a little bit better. And so that's why when I was building the business, in my head, the thought for that was that I could create a business itself that didn't have to revolve around me, essentially, so that business then had a worth that could potentially be sold to someone who wanted to run a sports therapy business in the future. But I quickly realised that I was falling into that trap of just immersing myself into work, and all the other things that I wanted to get out of being self-employed were just pushed to the side, and it became a job, a real job to, kind of be trying to build that business, and I started to resent it a little bit. Yeah. And that's why I've now reverted back to just being myself.
I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot to be said for kind of realising that because I think I definitely had that vision when I first started. It's to build this thing that I could then sell. But actually, over time, realised that actually wasn't what I wanted to do. One, because I was getting bored of accounting, and two, I'm quite happy just doing things for myself. The whole baking thing and the whole being self-employed, I'm quite happy just doing that. I don't want this massive thing. I don't need this massive thing.
Yeah.
And I think people chase the car, the big house, the holidays, and even though they've got themselves out of the 9 to 5, they then are working themselves into the ground to finance that lifestyle because they haven't got the support mechanisms around them that you have when you're employed.
And I think sort of on that point is that I now enjoy my work again a lot more than I did when I was trying to open a new clinic in Sutton Coldfield, a new clinic in Burton, keep the one running in Tamworth whilst I was working here. And again, it's sort of a topic again reverting back to my dad, is that he kind of goes, well, what are you going to do when you retire? And I'm kind of like, well, I enjoy my work, so I'm not in a rush to retire like he was. So I'm kind of quite happy to, if I'm still working when I'm 65, 70, if I'm doing what I enjoy doing, what's the problem with that?
Yeah. This is what Gemma says to me though, as well. She's found her thing that she really enjoys. I've said to her, I don't want to be working any more than I want to, than I am at the minute. So we don't need a bigger house, we don't need bigger cars. But she's like, well, if you find something that you enjoy doing, it's not a problem then.
Yeah.
And perhaps I just haven't found that thing. Well, I don't know.
What do you think would be that? Have you got a vision of what that might be? Have you thought about that?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing.
Just drawn a blank.
Yeah. No.
Maybe it's this, mate. Maybe it's podcasting.
So I've done all sorts of little exercises with different people about what I want to do, because I've had this thing for ages.
Yeah.
That I don't really. Accounting's just a thing. It's just a job. So I love cooking, hence the baking. I love riding my bike. I like helping people. I like teaching people stuff. So, I just haven't found the thing.
Yeah.
That I actually want to do, or so just haven't given things enough time.
Yeah.
It is another thing, but at the end of the day, I've got to support my family.
Yeah, true.
And if it doesn't work out, I'll have to go and get a job as an accountant. But I think we're not the only people that have got into a rut, and most people don't ever get out of that, and they just go through their midlife.
Yeah.
Resenting their job.
I think maybe one of the reasons that this came up as an idea for me is that I do get a lot of people come through my door that we have conversations on, and it's a bit of a mixture of people that are in employed positions, that are in jobs that they don't necessarily enjoy. I won't mention any names because I don't want to get people into trouble. But there's those people. But then there's other people who are venturing into, everyone's sort of, the buzzword is like a side hustle, and people are looking at side hustles and hoping potentially that can become something bigger that they can then, or working towards it. No, hope's a bit of a fluffy word, isn't it? But working towards making that a bigger percentage of their income so that they don't have to rely on the job. And then people like us who have kind of been self-employed for a while are investigating other avenues and potential things to, not for me anyway, not to move me away from it completely. Yeah. For you, yes, accounting. But to kind of explore different opportunities. And I think with technology and social media and all those things constantly bombarding us, that's become more of a pressure for, I think, particularly, not necessarily just people our age. I know that young people are thinking, well, if I'm 18 and I'm not earning this much money by now, why not? Because every day on social media I see some 20-year-old kid driving around in a Lamborghini who works 2 hours a day. And I think that pressure is mounting more and more in society. For me, it's kind of like in my midlife crisis, I want to find that balance of finding a level of wealth, I suppose, that allows you to do the things that you want to do, but without that being the only thing. Yeah. I don't want to get to that sort of position where I'm just money, because then you miss out on everything else that is time, which, being middle-aged, we're probably halfway through life already, and I don't want to waste the next 10 or 15 years just chasing money to retire.
I might only have 23 years left. Hopefully not.
Touch wood.
Touch wood.
We're somewhere in the middle. Yeah. And again, I think midlife is a bit of it's a grey area, isn't it? What is midlife? And I think depending on where you are in your career and those sort of things, these thoughts might happen sooner or later. Yeah. Depending on.
It's funny, like we've got some friends who they've been together since school. They're in their 30s. They've been through university. They've got good jobs. Got kids. But to me, that must be midlife. The 20 years, like post-career, has taken me up to my mid-40s.
Yeah.
Whereas the 20 years post-university and career has taken him to his mid-30s or whatever, whatever the maths is. So perhaps they're thinking about it already. Yeah. Because they've been doing that for such a long time. Yeah. They've had, that was their status quo. Been together for such a long time. What do they do next? They've had the kids. The kids are growing up. Yeah. I mean, they've got young kids anyway.
You can buy a motorbike.
You know what? I have thought about this, and I said it to my mum. She said, "Don't you dare buy a motorbike. You already ride your bike. It's already dangerous. You want to put an engine on it."
But yeah, I think that sort of stereotypical midlife crisis thing of buying a motorbike or a car, it doesn't really compute. Now, if you want to buy a car, flash car, you can get it on finance. Mm-hmm. As long as you've got a half decent job, anyone from 20 years old upwards can go and get themselves a fancy car. I don't think it doesn't really fit with today's sort of idea of what midlife crisis is, in my opinion. Anyway.
I think perhaps in a future conversation we'll talk about it, but things like the cars, for me it was the bike. But I kind of, in my head, I was thinking, certainly with the bike, I want to enjoy it now while I can ride a bike fast. I can have a car later on, I can drive a fast car later on. Yeah. But why put off those things? Just have a bigger house or just have You want to enjoy these certain things anyway while you're in the prime of your life, which really should be now.
Should we? I think I'm past my prime.
Speak to yourself, mate.
But yeah, I definitely can relate to that, and it's one of the reasons I've gone back to playing hockey. Is that at some point I won't be able to play hockey, and while I can still do it and enjoy it, then I should.
Even just exploring other avenues. Don't leave it until too late. Is my thought on it, because you read all the things. You get to 70 and like, what do you regret? Not trying something when you what if?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm sure we'll talk about that. So, we're on 35 minutes.
Are we? Should we wrap up session one?
We kind of said that we'd stick to 30 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were probably faffing around for about 10 minutes. But anyway, I thought it's been a good start.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it opens up the book of what the sort of chapters we're going to talk about through the podcast in future episodes, and gives people a bit of an insight into what we're going to be discussing in future episodes. Yeah.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
That was all right. Just a chit chat, really.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Do we need to do a chat GPT to sign off?
Chat GPT sign off.
No.
Should we check? Let's have a look. Might as well, innit? Embrace technology, like you said.
And that's it from me.
It's here for us.
And that's it from him.
Podcast sign off.
I'll have to cut this bit out while you're looking.
Lawrence, you can do the editing. It's giving us a few options. Oh, it's even remembered that it's the modern day midlife crisis. Okay, so that's it for today's episode of the modern day midlife crisis.
Thanks for spending some time with us, and we hope that our chat gave you something to think about or laugh about. I think we were a little bit funny, weren't we?
Yeah, comedy could be our next thing.
The mic working first.
That's it. If you enjoyed this episode, then make sure to follow and share and leave us a review.
We'll be back next week. Well, I don't know if it'll be next week, but soon.
Well, yeah.
With more stories of the middle lane of life. I'm Rishi.
And I'm Lawrence. And this has been the modern day midlife crisis. Take care, everyone.